Welcome back to Crazy for KV's RC. I'm Tim. Today we're going to be continuing the saga of the RC Speedy C3 build. As promised in the last video, I'm going to go through all the parts I intend to put in this. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment. You can check me out on my Instagram page. Just started an Instagram page to go along with this. Shoot me a comment in there. I'll answer any question, respond to every comment. Don't expect a flood, so post some links to where you can find some of this stuff down below. Probably won't get it all. Most of the stuff can be found on your big retailers, A-Main, some stuff off Horizon, I think, and Vanquish's website. You're gonna see a lot of that, but yeah, check it out, and I'll see you guys at the end. Thanks. So as you can see, we have a whole pile of parts here. Gonna try to get through it pretty quick. Don't want to make this too long because the sooner I get this done, edited, uploaded, the next time I touch this stuff is gonna be to start the build, and that's obviously the most, for me, is the most exciting part. Running the truck, doing testing and tuning is fun as well, but I get the most satisfaction out of building. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with the biggest thing that's on the bench, and as I go through things, I'm going to move them off to the side. As you can see, I'm going to start with a VS410 Phoenix. This is the Portal. This, I bought this a while back before they even came out with the straight axle, and I've been collecting these parts since then. They since have come out with, as of a couple of days ago, came out with a builder's kit, or builder's kit, and it comes with everything besides for the bodies, bumper, wheels, and tires, which I don't know if you know anything about these stock VS410 wheels and tires. The tires aren't great. I love the body, but I already have a Phoenix, so probably going to be looking to part ways with that. I may stick it on the body shelf for something for future use, but yep. You can get all this stuff for this on all the specs for this on vanquish.com, but let's go ahead and move that off to the side. That's a great kit, by the way. I have a pretty good amount of runtime on my Phoenix, and I also have a VS410 Pro, and I love both of them. So wheels and tires. I mentioned in the previous video that the C3 chassis has that scale spare tire mount. So I'm going to be going with, and I have 3 sets of these, 6 in total. I'm going to be going with Pitbull Rock Beast XLs. I did open one up because I wanted to check them out, see how they feel. They feel pretty good. I really like the look of them, especially for kind of an Ultra 4 style. Not a Jeep, but looks an awful lot like one. And yeah, the foams are really, really stiff, as most stock foams are either really stiff or really soft. But and as you can see over here, I also have some Crawl Innovation foams. So going with 4.75, and these are the wide cut, and you'll see why here shortly because of the wheels I chose. We're gonna go medium up front, firm in the rear, and the thought process on that is as you start a climb and all that weight really gets put on the back tires, you don't have completely flat tires, and the truck's a little more predictable that way. Some people like to keep them the same. Some people like to go softer in the back. It's all personal preference. This is kind of what I started with, so this is what I'm used to driving as far as characteristics. So let's move all the wheels and tires. I also have, I don't know how well you guys can see in here, there's also all of the S8E optional shock parts, titanium coated shafts, new bodies. There's some scale hardware in here as well for the wheels, some hubs. Yeah, basically everything to build fresh shocks. So I don't really need what comes with the Phoenix, but so wheels, I'm going with, these are Vanquish Method 105s, and these are in the gray. I have a lot of Vanquish wheels. You pay for them, but if you ever put together the cheap wheels and then put together these, There's a lot of screws, but I've never had an issue with any threads or stripping, as long as you're using a reasonable amount of torque to tighten them up. I use hand tools only. So I have 3 sets of these to match the 3 tires, so I will have a spare on top of my spare. We're going to do some blue IFR rings to match our blue truck, as well as these Scarn beadlock rings, and these are in the gray as well. So next we'll just keep rolling into kind of key things. So I have a pair of the machined aluminum F10 portals. So Phoenix comes with plastic axle housings, which they're great and they're really tough. I've taken some hard hits on them directly to the pumpkin, no cracks, but I am going to go with these machined aluminum housings. Just kind of take it to the next level, and I like the wear and tear you get on them. It looks cool once you scratch them up a little bit. Some people that really pains them, but I think it adds to the truck. There's the front one. Here's the rear. I did see that Vanquish just released aluminum portal knuckles and that set, so might look to pick those up while I'm in the process of the build, but I'll probably build them with the plastic in the meantime. I got some of the machined VFD twin gears. So this is for any VFD, and then this is for the VFD twin. It's special because of the selectable overdrive and the built-in dig. So those are option parts out of the factory. The Phoenix comes with like a pot metal or pressed metal machine gears. No issues yet on those, but I said, especially with a cage chassis, sometimes they're a little harder to work on. So I would rather do this and run less of a risk of ever popping a gear or breaking gears, stripping them out, and having to get in there, pull the transmission, and working on it. So not bomb proof, but trying to make it as durable as possible. On the same note of durability, these Incision drive shafts are awesome. I have them on quite a few trucks. They're super strong. They're pretty adjustable as far as wheelbase goes. And yeah, not much to be said. A lot of people like them. Alright, things got a little reshuffled because of some issues with recording. My GoPro shut down on me. But so for power system, we're going to go, let's start off with the motor. Holmes Hobby. I have a lot of Holmes Hobby's motors. I love the power, the punch. They have good torque. They crawl pretty well. Great wheel speed. They're just all around great motors. And I like supporting, a small American business. And I'm a big fan of John Holmes. Never met him, but seems like a really interesting, cool guy. So we're going to go Polar Pro V2. This is the 540 size. As you can see, 2700 kV. I have run this on 4S before, but you'll see in a minute why I intend to run it on 3S only. But yeah, so that's the motor. For my ESC, we're going to run a Mamba X. I've got a bunch of these. I love Castle ESCs. They are noisy, but they've been pretty dead nuts reliable for me. This has got a pretty strong BEC, which is going to be pretty handy. I like the tunability. I don't buy the Bluetooth modules. I just plug them into my computer when I need to make changes. Try to get them set up when I first start out, and rarely make major changes. Maybe one tune after a first drive, adjusting some drag brakes or whatever it may be. But it's a good ESC, runs cool. Next up, we got servos. So we're going to run a direct power Reefs RC 777, 777 ounces at 14 volts. So this is a 3S only servo. That's why I'm going to run 3S. But yeah, it's a great servo. I have at least one other one, and no complaints. Been rock solid for me. Fast, strong, and this can be a heavy vehicle, so I'm going to need some power. For servo winch, we're going to go Reef's 299 low profile. The way that chassis is set up, I don't think that an internal spool servo winch would work. I think there'd be some interference issues, possibly some rubbing on the winch line between the winch and the fairlead. So this just seems like a better, it's an external spool, seems like a better application. Never used one of these, but excited to check it out. And obviously if I come across any glaring issues with it, I will let you all know. For my accessory servos, I have some ProTech, I believe they're 160s. They're the low profile, really nice. The black label servos in my regular Phoenix that I built about a year ago, many months ago at least. I was going to switch those out, but long story short, setting the endpoints on the dig and overdrive can be a little tedious. So instead of redoing all that twice, I've decided I'm just going to toss these EcoPower WP 115s. These are low profile, 120-ish ounce inches, which should be plenty. They're pretty fast. They are 6 volts only, but that's fine because I'm running a direct power steering servo. And even at 6 volts, my servo winch is going to be right at 300 ounce inches. More accessories. Vanquish Q Series LEDs. Never used them. Bought them a while back. Changed my mind on what I wanted to use them on. And saved them for this. So apparently they're very bright. Almost too bright. But there are mounting brackets on the chassis for these. So we're going to use them. Check them out. On that same note of lighting, I got a Proline 4-inch light bar. That's what the chassis set up to run. I won't use basically any of this plastics. I'll unbolt it from its bracket and it'll actually just mount right up to the chassis and we'll wire it up. I've used one of these before. They work just fine and relatively budget friendly comparatively to some of the other things you see here. Winding down here, so we have a silver sway bar kit from Reef's. Have one of these on a Gatekeeper. It's been good, quality parts. Reef's makes great stuff, not just their servos. But the only thing I'm concerned about is if this, the actual bar is going to be long enough. So I may have to buy some spring steel and make my own. But we'll cross that bridge if it comes. I expect to hit a few bumps in the road along this build. It is, you know, a cobbling of many different manufacturers and parts together. So I'm gonna throw some Vanquish scale brake rotors on here. They're stainless steel. They got some pretty good weight to them. These are the 1/9 size, which is the wheels I'm running. Add some nice detail and a little bit of forward bias, which rarely hurts. So I mentioned in the last video I had a titanium link set, and it is crazy how light this bag is compared to a normal Vanquish or Incision stainless link set. You save a lot of weight, which is something I was trying to be conscious with. This is obviously why I paid for the titanium tubing, and I'm hoping that I can run these. I hope that the lengths are right. I'll have to get them out and check, but if not, then obviously these will all get saved and they will get used later. So winding down here, last few things. I got my servo horns. I love Vanquish servo horns. I'll just be honest with you guys, I like Vanquish parts. I like that a lot of it's made in America. Most of the machine parts are. These servo horns are super strong, been reliable. I like the clamping system. I don't have the servo horn bolt back out on me because of that. And yeah, but I do need 3 because it's a 3 servo truck. And then I just have one bag to represent it, but I do have scale hardware for the wheels. These are the beadlock scale hardware bolts. I also have the scale hardware lug nuts that are going to go in as well. I think that just about wraps it up. Like I said. All right, so now that you've seen everything I'm going to put in this build, what do you think? Let me know. I'm interested to hear what your guys' opinions are. If you think I should have done something differently, if you're concerned about something working, definitely tell me. If you've built an RC Speedy, whether it's a C1, C2, or C3, or honestly any of their chassis, open to feedback. I've never messed with any of their stuff, and kind of just put this list together in off of a paper build, as I call it, kind of planning everything out. But you guys pretty much saw everything I have to put at this truck. The only thing I may still order is those Vanquish portal knuckles they just released, aluminum to match. I kind of wish they would release some aluminum outers for the rear, because it seems silly to have plastic outers on the rear but aluminum outers on the front, but that's neither here nor there. And I would guess that they're coming. They just kind of release things usually as they get them done and get them into production. So yep, not sponsored by Vanquish, not sponsored by any company, obviously. Just want to show you guys the chassis, the parts, and kind of walk you through my build. Yeah, in the next video, you guys are going to see me actually start putting wrenches on this truck, start building it. There's going to be some time lapses most likely. I'm not going to film the entire thing. I don't have the time to edit it, to be honest. And getting camera set up, my workbench isn't ideal for filming. I'm trying to make it work. If you guys have any suggestions for how I can improve, let me know. But yeah, I want to bring you guys along for the ride. And if you guys like what you saw in this video, like, subscribe, check out the next video when it gets released, and check out some of my previous videos. I will link them here. I have some initial impressions of the Speedy chassis already posted. Hopefully that's why you guys are here. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.